Arch Manning is 19 years old, has only started 2 college games, but somehow he's the most talked about player in all of college football. He's also the highest earning NIL athlete in college right now. So why is everybody talking about him? And should we be just as excited as they are? Today, we're breaking down what makes Arch Manning such a compelling figure in college football, how his family legacy, elite skills, and off-the-field presence have all combined to make him a player worth watching. Stick around as we dive into the hype and what we can actually expect from Arch as he steps into the starting quarterback role at the University of Texas. I am your host, Zach, and welcome back to another episode of the Sports Corner at Choose Adventure Media. To understand the massive spotlight on Arch Manning, we have to talk about his family. His name alone carries a weight that many young athletes could only dream of. His grandfather, Archie Manning, was a legendary quarterback for the Ole Miss Rebels and in the NFL with the New Orleans Saints. He was drafted number 2 overall in the 1971 NFL Draft. His oldest uncle, Peyton Manning, was a star at Tennessee, the number 1 overall pick in the 1998 NFL Draft, and then went on to win 5 MVPs. That's the most ever in the NFL. He also won 1 Super Bowl MVP, 2 Super Bowls, and holds the NFL records for passing touchdowns in a season, passing yards in a season, and passing touchdowns in a single game. His other uncle, Eli Manning, Peyton's younger brother, was a legend at Ole Miss, was the number 1 overall pick in the 2004 NFL Draft, and went on to win 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and still holds the NFL record for most passing yards in a single postseason. The oldest brother of them all, Cooper, which is Arch's dad, was a highly rated recruit coming out of high school as well, and committed to the University of Mississippi, much like his brother Eli later would, and much like his dad did. However, the summer before his freshman year, he was diagnosed with spinal stenosis, and that would end his playing career. I think it's really cool how Arch chose to go to Texas. He didn't feel the need to go to the same universities that his uncle or his grandpa did because he wanted to carve out his own legacy. Arch is not just following in the footsteps of his family, he's carrying the torch of one of the most storied football families in history. Arch Manning was heavily recruited coming out of high school. But here's the kicker. He wasn't the top quarterback in his class. He was ranked as the 4th highest quarterback prospect by ESPN in the 2023 cycle. However, of the top 4 quarterbacks in that class, he's the only one still with his original school. But he was still one of the most coveted recruits in all of college football history because of his last name and his talents on the field. Arch attended Isidore Newman High School in New Orleans, Louisiana, just like his uncles, where he posted some ridiculous numbers. He started all 4 years and finished his career with 8,539 passing yards, 115 touchdowns, and only 19 interceptions for his entire high school career. That's ridiculous. He also had another 19 career rushing touchdowns, and he broke his uncle's records in passing yards and passing touchdowns while at Newman. He also played on the varsity basketball team for his first 3 years until he decided to solely focus on football for his senior year. This highlights just how athletic he is at the quarterback position. And it wasn't just his stats that turned heads. It was his poise, leadership, and playmaking ability. Ultimately, his recruitment came down to Texas, Georgia, and Alabama. And in the end, he chose Texas, where the pressure of the Manning name would follow him from day one. One of the biggest talking points surrounding Arch Manning is his physical tools. While his uncles were known for their accuracy and decision-making from the pocket, Arch is described as being more athletic. He has more playmaking ability and a more explosive athletic profile compared to Peyton and Eli. In an interview talking about his nephew, Peyton said that the athleticism that Arch has actually comes from Peyton's father and Arch's grandfather, Archie. And Peyton joked that that athleticism skipped a generation and went straight from grandfather to grandson. His arm talent is elite. He can make every throw from anywhere on the field with great velocity and precision. The very first throw of his college career was a filthy on-the-run throw across the middle of the field. And he demonstrated multiple times this season that that wasn't a one-hit wonder. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks that I've ever seen at his age throwing on the run. And what separates Arch from the rest is how he moves in the pocket. He's smooth, quick, and when plays break down, he can extend plays with his legs. And he's got some serious twitch. For example, watch this juke move against UTSA in the open field, making the defender look silly. He definitely has plus athleticism, mainly being used this past year at Texas in design run packages. Overall, Arch Manning brings a unique blend of elite arm talent and next-level athleticism that sets him apart from the Manning legacy. While Peyton and Eli were known for their precision and decision-making, Arch's ability to move fluidly in the pocket and make plays with his legs adds a whole new dimension to his game. Whether it's threading the needle on a deep throw or escaping pressure with that quick twitch, Arch is showing he's not just another Manning. He's his own player with the tools to take his game to places no one's ever seen before. I truly believe that Arch Manning has the potential to be one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football next year. His ability to throw on the run is elite. He can make those cross-field, off-platform throws that you see from the very best quarterbacks in the game, like you see in the NFL with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. His accuracy in the pocket is spot on, and he has an amazing deep ball. And when he extends plays with his legs, that insane twitch and athleticism comes into play, allowing him to do things we haven't seen in a Manning before. I think his most underrated trait is his ball placement. He knows exactly where to put the ball to give his wide receiver the best opportunity to turn up the field and earn extra yards after the catch. That's something that we see a lot of times from people that have family members or mentors that have played in the NFL at an elite level. We see this with Shedeur Sanders, who's the son of Deion Sanders, and we also see this definitely with Arch Manning. I'm constantly amazed with every single throw he makes. And this year, he's got an elite running back in CJ Baxter to help balance the offense. With an offensive guru like Steve Sarkisian as his coach, we can expect Texas to have a scheme that gets wide receivers open in creative ways. These factors will put Arch in a position to succeed in a big way next season. It is impossible to talk about Arch Manning without mentioning his NIL value. With the Manning name, Arch is one of the most marketable players in college football. Currently, he has deals with Panini America, EA, and Red Bull. According to On3, Arch has an NIL valuation of $6.6 million, more than any other college athlete right now. I just want to put this into perspective. Caleb Williams, who was the top overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, signed a 4-year, $39 million deal. This breaks down to about $9.8 per year. That's only $3.2 million more than Arch Manning, who is at this time 19 years old. While his on-the-field play will always be the focus, his ability to leverage his name off the field will set him up for a huge future. So what's next for Arch Manning? In his first season as the full-time starter, his biggest hurdle next season will be continuing his development and leading Texas to a possible playoff berth. Texas is losing a lot of talent to the NFL this spring. His offensive tackles and wide receivers are largely unproven, but are full of potential thanks to the amazing recruiting job that Steve Sarkisian has done to put weapons around his star quarterback. The defense, which was arguably their strength last year, should also be incredibly stout again. Texas will absolutely need to improve their running game to go further in the playoffs next year and to help support Arch. But that should improve with the return of their star running back CJ Baxter, who was injured at the beginning of last season and missed the entire year. Look, if there's one thing we know about Arch, it's that he's not afraid of the pressure. In fact, I think he actually thrives on it. I absolutely believe the hype for Arch Manning. He has elite tools and should have some great weapons next year at Texas. I am absolutely looking forward to seeing him connect on some more touchdowns with Ryan Wingo, their star wide receiver. He's been groomed for this moment since he was a kid, and the world is watching. I can't wait to see what he's going to do next. Arch Manning's journey is only beginning, but already he's become one of the most fascinating players in college football. So whether you're a Texas fan, a Manning fan, or just a college football enthusiast, you can't help but be excited about what's coming next. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Arch Manning in the comments below. What do you think his future holds? Will he live up to the legacy of his family? Or is it possible he could even surpass those legacies? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more football breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one. Once again, my name is Zach, and thank you for watching the Sports Corner at Choose Adventure Media.